Fellas, ladies, you looking for lotions? You looking for beard oils? But unfortunately, everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and it probably killing you? No problem, we got you. Go check out my people from Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. That's Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. www.top2bottom, BOTTU, the U is for unique, M.com. Tell them I sent you.
No face smiles on the screen. If it stings, let it sting. If it's trash, say it's trash. That's the code on this team. Hands up if you want raw. Hands up if you want all. No polish on the feed. Just the facts, just the heat. Unfiltered sports show. We don't care, we know. No PR stunt, no pose. Unfiltered sports show. Say it loud, let it go. We real about it, bro. Unfiltered sports show. Bad pass, we call it bad. Soft take, we laugh at that. If the stats don't back it up, then it falls right flat. No scripted, little angle, no cushion, little spin. We bring the whole truth out, then we run it back again. You can keep the safe talk, keep the clean cut grin. We want sweat on the record, we want grit in the wind. If the tape looks shaky, if the line looks thin, we say what it is, man, that's where the facts begin. Hands up if you want raw. Hands up. Hands up if you want all. No polish on the feed. Just the facts, just the heat. Unfiltered sports show. We don't care.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Unfiltered Sports here on the OG Network. First and foremost, again, thank you to everybody that's tuned into the chat. I appreciate all the love and support. I'm going to pick up from where we last left off on Tuesday. Excuse me. And that's about the FIFA World Cup. FIFA is, like I said on Tuesday, is a big topic to be talking about right now. And I say this because a lot of upsets have happened since we've had the show on Tuesday. Just today alone, Germany, an underdog team, a sleeper team, lost the match 2-1 to Ecuador. It's like that right there. It blew my mind because Germany's supposed to be able to win these games to get into that round of 32. They keep losing, they're going to be done. I think they got one more game before it starts to actually hit that round of 32. So they got maybe one more opportunity. Mexico yesterday night at that was a good game to watch. Mainly because they blew out their opponent 3-0. Like, blown out is an understatement. Like, they left them in the dust. Left them in the dark. They didn't know, like, their opponent, like, there was no coming back for their opponent at all. Like, left in the dust. Couldn't score a goal. Like, it was crazy. South Africa and South Korea, that was a good matchup. Very competitive defensively. South Africa beat South Korea 1-0. And then Brazil won 3-0 over Scotland. That was another good game that I watched. And I couldn't even keep my eyes on that game, the full game, because it was just ugly early on for Scotland. Scotland was just not playing good soccer, in my opinion, and that's what caused them to lose to Brazil 3-0. Then you had Morocco and Haiti. That was more of a competitive style game as well. It was 4-2 in Morocco's favor, but again, it was just, unlucky. Haiti never won a game so far in their group stage, so they're not making it out. Bosnia won 3-1 over Qatar, and then Switzerland beat Canada 2-1 as well, and that was a good matchup in itself. And I've been enjoying, like I said, I've enjoyed all these matchups so far. That I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen in this knockout stage, because again, I got the excitement to see USA, to see Sweden, to see Brazil, to see Germany, to see Argentina, France, England all play in this knockout, including Spain too, right? But it's just going to be very interesting for some of these teams. And honestly, growing up, to your point out the pit, like growing up, I never was really a soccer fan at all either. I think I really got into soccer when I was, I mean, I did like a soccer camp when I was really young, but I didn't really play the sport or get into soccer until I was a freshman in high school. And the reason I played soccer as a freshman in high school was because um, I made the football team as a freshman in high school, but it was JV. And then the coach was like, he pulled me aside and was like, "I'm gonna be honest, you're probably never going to see the field at all because you're too short." And so he was like, I don't even think we have any equipment that's going to fit you because you're so small." So that was his idea or his way of kicking me off the football team. But I played soccer, and then the crazy part about it was shortly after I joined the soccer team, maybe a week after, he pulled me aside because I had his class, a history class, and he asked me if I wanted to try out for the football team again because they had cut everybody from the JV football team. And I had told him that I wouldn't be able to because I'm playing soccer, and I had already committed to playing soccer. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. But FIFA is definitely been an interesting sport to watch because, again, like I said on Tuesday, it's the universal sport. It's the universal language. When we look at soccer, like you can pick up a soccer ball and anybody can come up to you and try to take the soccer ball away from you. Um, you got to have proper footwork and different things like that. That's going to allow you to develop your football skills, and it's going to allow you to be able to actually play the game. The game's not really that hard to play in itself. It's not hard to understand in itself. You just have to be able to get into the game and really be able to run at that. I would pass out on the soccer field. Yo, believe it or not, a soccer field is longer than a football field. So just think, if you got to run the length of a soccer field for 90 minutes, how much running you got to do for practice, how much cardio conditioning you have to do in the off season just to stay ready for the actual season. And it's a good thing too. Like some of these soccer players, they don't just play for their country when it comes to like the Olympics, FIFA World Cup, all of that stuff. They play for like their local teams at the same time, and it allows them to play soccer pretty much year round. Um, in my honest opinion, I think a lot of deaths come from playing soccer because again, a lot of people are not prepared. And I think that's the incorrect way to say that, but a lot of people's hearts aren't fully prepared for them to constantly run for 90 minutes straight on any given day consistently, and then they collapse right there on the field. And it's happened more often than people think, but they just don't hear about it. And that's the sad part right there in itself. But yeah, like when it comes to World Cup, like like World Cup is my thing to watch, just because it's unpredictable, very unpredictable. And so I'm very excited to be able to have the opportunity to see which teams are underdogs, which teams are beating other teams and knocking them out of contention as well. Like today, if I'm not mistaken, today, so we already had the Germany game that happened. We got the Netherlands matchup that's going to be happening. Actually, right now is happening, and Netherlands is up 2-0 as we speak. As we speak, the Netherlands is up on, I don't even know how to say that name. Tunisia, I don't know, but they're up 2-0 right now. And then another matchup that's happening is Japan versus Sweden. And then later on today at 10 p.m., everybody should tune into this game. It's USA versus Turkey, and that's going to be a great matchup right there in itself. And I hope that USA blows the house down with this matchup right here. And then at 10 o'clock today as well, you got Australia versus Paraguay. That's going to be a really good competition matchup in itself. And so just tune in, watch them. You can watch them on YouTube, or if you download the Fox One app, it'll allow you to watch it on the app as well. And that's how I get the updates and watch it is the Fox One app. But I'm going to switch gears just a little bit, and I found this interesting. So I'm gonna switch gears to basketball really fast. And so with basketball, we all know the NBA draft has started already. Teams are drafting their players. Players are being drafted to one team, being traded right away, and it's very interesting to see some facial expressions on some of these basketball players' faces or whatnot. And the reason I want to shift gears to basketball just for a split second is to say that I just saw a post on Instagram that showed um, that Miami is trying to trade up with OKC to draft Bryce James. Now, granted, Bryce James is only 19 years old, and Bryce is better than his older brother, Bronny James. And I think that if Bryce ever gets the opportunity this year to be drafted, I think he's going to be a huge asset to whatever team that he gets drafted to. Now, granted, if he stays back and plays an actual year of basketball for NCAA instead of being redshirted, then he will be a higher draft pick in the 2027 NBA draft. In my opinion, to that comment that LeBron is leaving the NBA, I believe that LeBron is going to stay another year, and he's going to try to just slowly leave the NBA behind like closed doors, because he's already mentioned that he don't want any like retirement tour or none of that stuff. Like he just wants straight. I played my time here. I'm done. Goodbye. Say farewells, but I don't need like a farewell tour or none of that stuff. Like once I'm done, I'm done. I've always said that LeBron is going to try to stay until Bronny and Bryce both are drafted into the NBA, but it's becoming more and more clear and evident that it's looking less likely for that to actually happen. He's playing a lot less games. He's not eligible for any rewards or nothing like that or accolades from the NBA, meaning defense. It was like all defensive team, the all NBA first team and all that stuff. Like he's not eligible for any of that stuff if he doesn't play more than a certain amount of games in itself. But I think that he's played his fair share of games. He's washed up. He's ready to go, retire. Just leave it up to the young bucks nowadays. Like the NBA is now starting to run its course, where I believe that a lot of the excitement, a lot of the energy is now starting to fall in the hands of the WNBA and the Big Three. Uh, he gonna be 49. He gonna be sitting on the bench with some gray hair. He pretty much is bald at this point. Like at one point he had some hair up here, but then back here was bald, and it's just like, bro, you got to fade, but how you got to fade with a bald spot like that big? Like it's crazy. So I find that interesting. But again, I was never a LeBron fan. I was always a fan of underdogs. I've always been a Lou Williams fan. I can't wait to meet Lou Williams in person one day. I watched him when he was drafted straight out of high school from Atlanta to Philadelphia 76ers, and he played for the Sixers, and then he went to the Hawks, played for the Lakers as well. And like I said, I'm a huge Lou Williams fan, and the other thing too is like I'm a Jalen Brunson fan, Josh Hart fan, um, and I'm not a fan because they just won the championship. I'm a fan because I've watched them play at Villanova. I watched them win a championship in 2016. I watched them win a championship in 2018. And when I was watching a video of Knicks fans, and the one question was the one question that came up was, "Are you a Knicks fan? If so, how diehard of a fan are you?" And they were like, "Oh, I'm a diehard Knicks fan." And the question that came up was, um, where did Jalen Brunson go to college? You don't need to be a diehard Knicks fan to know that Jalen Brunson, even though he was traded to the New York Knicks from Dallas, he went to college at Villanova. The same thing with Josh Hart. The same thing with Mikal Bridges. The same thing with Dante DiVincenzo. The same thing with Corey Fisher. The same thing with Scotty Reynolds, right? It's crazy, right? Because I'm a huge Villanova fan. And to see that the Knicks started with 4 Villanova players on their roster, it made me excited to see that Villanova is starting to become a powerhouse university by sending players to the NBA. Now you got Sadiq Bey, who played for Villanova as well, but he's over in Detroit, and they was doing some work, but they got trashed. Um, but that's all right. You know, they got some big things coming. Yeah, when they talk about LeBron hair, like his headline not right here no more. His headline back here, so he's saluting from back here with it. Like his thing is, yo, it's like instead of salute, he salute like his hand and palm in the air and everything. He's saluting from back there. Like that's how crazy it is. But uh, yeah, so I think once LeBron retires, he's not done with basketball. Excuse me. I think once he retires, he's going to jump into the big three. So just like every retired basketball player, they can't run full court no more. They want to save their energy and all of that. LeBron's just trash and garbage all around. Not because of his receding headline and all of that stuff, but when he gets into the big three and he playing against some of these former players that he used to bully, we're going to see how physical LeBron actually is at the age of 42, at the age of 45, whatever it may be. LeBron, I think LeBron going to go to the big three. And I think he might dominate a little bit in the big three, but I would like to see LeBron play for Dr. J's team over in Chicago and see what Dr. J can teach him about being an actual basketball player, not flopping, and actually going to the lane, absorb the contact, finish and one, count the basket. You know, LeBron, every time he get hit, first thing he do, he grab that ball spot of his. He grab it like that, and then he lay on the floor with his eyes closed, and then he just go, and then he start doing this, like you brushing your hair in the middle of the game. What we doing here? Like, like he grabbed it like that at one point. I seen him. He got smacked on the wrist. He flopped so hard after he got smacked on the wrist, he hit the ground. Then he grabbed his head, like you could hear the smack, palmed the back of his baldness. And after he did that, he just started brushing his hair. Like, what you brushing, bro? You bald. You ain't got no hair. Like, what we talking about here? But, you know, I'm always going to trash talk LeBron because I just think he's overrated. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. But one of the biggest things I want to bring up, or actually I'm going to talk about baseball really fast. And I'm going to throw this out there for the audience because I want to see what you guys think about this. You don't have to like the team or nothing like that, but let's put your thoughts into this. So there was 3 different times that the Philadelphia Phillies had their record. Let me pull up what their record is right now because I can't remember off the top of my head. 3 different times in the history of Phillies where their record was 44-36. Those last 2 times, I believe it was 99, 2008, when they got to this point in the season where they were 44-36, and then they went to the World Series and they won. Will the Philadelphia Phillies live up to those previous expectations of being this high of a seed and win the World Series this season? Or will they fall short of their expectations and their goals and get knocked out, let's say, in the first or second round of the playoffs? And then I'll let you know what my thoughts process is on here. Because I think it's going to be interesting. Like, baseball playoffs is really different. And it's longer, too. Like, the whole season is longer. if you guys are in town too, while we talk about the Phillies and I get my thought process together here a little bit too, um, the the Phillies, the MLB is hosting the MLB All Star Weekend in Philadelphia this year at Citizen Bank Park. I believe it's this July. So if you in the Philadelphia area, you might want to check out this All Star Weekend because you're gonna have that home run derby, and the All Star game as well. Um, it's gonna be very fun to actually see how this plays out for the city, how much money they can make off of it, how much they give away, different things like that. That's kind of what I'm really interested with, and so that was my thought with the Philadelphia really fast. But I believe that the Phillies, unfortunately, won't win the World Series. I want them to prove me wrong by winning the World Series. But usually, when we see that they are playing this good of baseball and you start to put all the pressure on them, they start to prove you wrong by losing. I want them to keep the streak going. I want the momentum to be in their favor. I want them to continue to play decent baseball. I think it was 2 nights ago, maybe 3 nights ago, where they were in the ninth inning and they had 8 runs scored in the ninth inning alone. 8 runs in the ninth inning alone. Then they were down that game. Then they came back and won because of those eight runs in the ninth inning. The next day they won, or they were down, and they ended up winning 4-3. And so they're playing some decent baseball all around. Like I'm really excited about Philly baseball, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do come this postseason. Now, what I really wanted to talk about tonight, though, outside of LeBron grabbing his bald head and acting like he was doing something by flopping onto the ground, is wrestling. A lot of people grew up, including myself, grew up watching WWE. Was it Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw? That was the two wrestling shows that I grew up watching. But then you got to remember that you had wrestlers like NWO. You got wrestlers like DX. You got wrestlers like the Legion of Doom, Brothers of Destruction. Um, you got the Bloodline in this new generation, the Usos. You got Roman Reigns. You got um, John Cena. You got CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, all of that, right? So you got a list of different. Rey Mysterio, can't forget about Rey Mysterio, Luchador Man, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Y2K, Break the Walls Down. But with wrestling, though, right? Who was your favorite wrestler growing up to watch when it came to WWE, SmackDown, or Raw? Like even before SmackDown and Raw became a thing, it was before it was WWE, it was WWF. So for me, I liked Shawn Michaels. For whatever reason, I've always been a Shawn Michaels kind of guy. I watch. I do like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was always one of those guys that I watched. The 619, I always tried to hit the 619. Sweet Chin Music, always tried to hit Sweet Chin Music. But we can't forget about Mankind. You can't forget about what's his name? Hulk Hogan. You can't forget about um, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, right? Sting was another good one back in the day, right? So we looking at back in the day wrestlers. We talking about Sting. You talking about Superfly Jimmy Snuka, right? You got Mankind Mick Foley, whichever one he decided to be that day. You got the Legion of Boom. You got the Legion of Booker T. Yep, another good one. But all these old school wrestlers. Let's put together an all-star, let's do a 6-man tag team match here, right? So not six. Actually, it's gonna be 12. So 6 on each team. So let's do like the early, let's do the 90s to early 2000s. Let's put on one team, right? So let's pick 6 wrestlers from the 90s to early 2000s on one team, 6 wrestlers. Let's put those wrestlers together in the chat. And then we're going to do the same thing from mid 2000s all the way to today and put 6 players on that team. And we're going to create the dream team versus the redemption team. And we're going to battle this one out to see which team will win in that tag team match. So let's see who y'all want on this dream team from the 90s to those early 2000s. Who would y'all want on that team? 6. We just need 6. Because I think this is going to be interesting. Because you still got to think about Undertaker. We count Undertaker in the early 2000s, the 90s, because he's been around for that long. Like, that man is old. Brock Lesnar, you count down there. Yo, what's going on? Split My Media. So let's check in, right? So you want Superfly, Jimmy Snuka, Triple H, and Kane. That's 3. Rob Van Dam. Oh, I forgot about him, right? You got the 5-star Frog Splash. RBD. I remember Rob Van Dam. Yeah, see, there we go. All right, so we talk about Superfly. We got RVD. You got Triple H. We got Kane. Mankind. Goldberg. Woohoo! That was a good one. Macho Man Randy Savage. That's a good one. Chris Jericho. That's another good one too. All right, so you individually you have your 6 that you want on your dream team, right? Let's take that 6 and put it aside. When you take that 6 and you put it aside, let's look at that mid 2000s to today as far as wrestlers go, and let's create another 6. And then we're going to compare and see which team is going to be better. Because if I'm looking at early 2000s, I definitely would take Y2K for sure. Shawn Michaels, I would put on that. I definitely would put on Batista. Batista for sure. Randy Orton. I would put Randy Orton up there as well. And then I would put Kane and Undertaker on there. Those would be my 6 for that 90s to early 2000. Batista was a savage when he was playing in his prime. JBL was definitely an interesting wrestler around that time frame as well. It's a crazy thugonomics. John Cena is that mid 2000s. I will give. All right, so John Cena, I put him in a new era. Put him in that new era. See, new era. I'm looking at John Cena. Actually, I would take one of the other people out and put CM Punk a part of that old era. But then in this new era, like you got Roman Reigns, you got Cody Rhodes, you got John Cena, you got the Uso brothers, you got what's his name? Obafemi. Yep, Obafemi. Yep, he's another one. Lex Luger is old school. Brock Lesnar is old school. So those are some good names actually that you guys are throwing out there, and I appreciate that a lot too, right? Because when we look at these Obafemi, honestly, right, is so Roman Reigns I followed closely in this new day and age. Cody as well, but then what really just sparked my interest was this this matchup, and we'll talk about this matchup after we get through what we're talking about right now. But this matchup between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, that right there in itself is crazy because the fact that Oba picked up Brock and just laid him out in 4 seconds, that was crazy. Um, but yeah, I'm a huge Obafemi fan for this new generation. It was crazy how he left. Shoot, where it was NXT. He left NXT as the champion, came over to Raw. It was crazy. He cashed in his champion, his NXT champion, came over to Raw, and he knocked out Brock at WrestleMania. And I believe it was no more than like 7 seconds. But then you know how the analytics have to be, you know how the fans have to be, is they got to get that lick back. And they wanted to see Brock Lesnar win. It was all a part of the script. But yeah, Ultimate Warrior, bro, Ultimate Warrior. That was a real one. When we talk about like tag team matchups and all of that stuff too, like you gotta look at all of that. Like, oh, WCW. It's a good point. What's his name? Big Show, Andre the Giant. You can't forget about those either. Like those are some. Listen, those were some good ones right there too. Can't forget about that. What the heck is this guy's name though? I'm thinking of Animal and Hawk. Those were some good ones too. The ones with the shoulder pads on, yeah. Legion of Doom. What about shoot? Who remembers the Dudley Boys? The Dudley Boys. Mm-hmm. The Dudley Boys were definitely some good tag team champions as well. Those were actually when I first started watching wrestling. Those were who I saw. What those were the two tag teams that I saw was the Dudley Boys, and then the Hardy Boys, and then it was Batista and Eddie Guerrero at one point. Batista, Rey Mysterio. They put some of my grandma through the table. Yo, man, yo, I remember, and I don't know if you guys was in the same kind of situation, but I remember going to school, growing up, doing the D-Generation X, and you do the suck it, and then you go to school and do it, and then you get put in detention. Like, I remember getting in so much trouble, even at home, from mimicking everything that DX was doing. You had Road Dogg, you had Billy Gunn. Yo, you people were getting suspended too, but you just go in and you just mimicking everything that DX had to do. Yo, it was just amazing. Like wrestling back in the day, like that era of wrestling was wrestling. It's what made us entertained and into the sport in itself. I remember watching Eminem, and that was just like they were tag team champions, but they wasn't like the real deal in my opinion. Like the real deal, like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. Like, you talk about some crazy people, they jumping off ladders, like bleeding, everything hardcore, sacrificing their body just to win the titles. Like, talk about TLC tag team champions. Like, those guys were it. I remember we used to set up a ring outside just to do WWE stuff. Bro, you used to put people in the pedigree, boom, hit them, TKO, RKO, the stunner, everything. I remember we used to have the porch blocked off, and we would just climb the gate, jump off the top of the gate, and you just, boom, people's elbow. Like, bro, it was like that. That time frame was the time frame to grow up in and to be a part of. Like, man, you just had to be there and live that era to really understand everything. And then Ric Flair, Ben. What a surprise, Ben. Ric Flair was a good one. One of the biggest things that I really hated about WWE was when they had Shawn Michaels go up against Ric Flair at WrestleMania, and if Ric Flair lost, he had to retire. But then, if Shawn Michaels was like, if he didn't play his full strength, then he would have been out of WWE himself. So that was just a crazy thing in itself. Oh yeah, you did put people in a sleeper hole. Like, you had people going down for the count, everything. The choke slam, like, people was. Oh, you can't forget about Kurt Angle. It's Olympic time. You know, you got to put people in an ankle lock. Like, come on now. Like, how can we forget about Kurt Angle? Like, that in itself, bro. I used to break people ankles for real. Like, putting people in that ankle lock. People be so pissed off about that, yo. Like, so if you had to name all time top 5 WWE superstars, like, who would that be? Top 5 all time. I saw someone's top 5, and at number 1, they put Mark Calloway, The Undertaker, at number 1. They had to stop y'all and Jim from wrestling. Yeah, so they put Undertaker at number 1. They put Stone Cold Steve Austin at number 2. John Cena at number 3. The Rock at number 4. Shawn Michaels at number 5. Oh my goodness. If you look at top 10, they had Bret the Hitman Hart at number 6. Then they had at 7 Hulk Hogan. Then they had Paul Levesque at 8. Randy Savage at 9. And then Andre the Giant at 10. Booker T, honestly, too, like, Booker T was mentioned a lot tonight. And when we look at Booker T, even though he's no longer wrestling, I think he has his own wrestling school opened up to train people on how to become a better wrestler. Not just anybody, though. I think it's women wrestlers, too. Like, we forget about that. Ray, Hawk, Sting, Goldberg, Booker T. That's a good 5 right there. Forgot about Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Kurt Angle at 13, Andy Copeland at 14, Randy Orton at 15, Mick Foley at 17, CM Punk at 18, Chris Jericho at 20, Brock Lesnar at 21, Batista 22, Rey Mysterio at 23, Eddie Guerrero at 24, 25 is Ric Flair. So like a lot of these, they put AJ Styles in there. Now don't get me wrong, I got nothing against AJ Styles, but I don't think he's top 30. I would put him low, like maybe 50. Like that's just ridiculous to even think about that kind of stuff or whatnot. But I really enjoy this kind of stuff, honestly. Like Jeff Hardy at 31. People think that AJ Styles is better than Jeff Hardy? What? I personally don't believe that AJ Styles is top 10. That's my opinion. I would put Jeff Hardy over AJ Styles. That's how I see it right there. You think that AJ Styles, not even just Jeff Hardy, but you think AJ Styles is better than CM Punk? Let's. You think AJ Styles is better than Chris Benoit? It's the cult of personality right there. But I think that CM Punk is better than AJ Styles. But also, Chris Benoit is down at 34. 34 out of 50. And AJ Styles is up there. Like that is. Billy Graham is at 37. Rob Van Dam is at 38. Rob Van Dam was at 38. I put RVD over AJ Styles. Owen Hart at 43. Kevin Nash at 46. Oh, let's put this out here. At 49, you got Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Superfly at 49, and you got AJ Styles up there in the 20s. That's outrageous. I think that's outrageous. You know what? You know what, man? I like this right here, right? I'm going to challenge my audience tonight. I'm going to challenge you guys tonight, right? Because I like to leave with challenges now. I like to keep people thinking. When I like to keep people thinking here, and when I leave you with this challenge, I want you guys to really think about this. Come back Tuesday. Come back Tuesday on Unfiltered Sports, 7 o'clock Tuesday, right? With your 6 90s to early 2000s wrestlers and your 6 mid 2000s to present wrestlers, and we're going to put them up side by side. And I'll bring you live so you can explain it live and you ain't got to put it in the chat and all of that stuff. And we're going to talk about it, see why you picked, who you picked, and who you believe is going to win, your dream team or your redemption team. And then we want to see your top 10 all-time wrestlers. So come back Tuesday and join me live Tuesday. That way we can see what y'all really about. And we're going to debate this thing live Tuesday. We're going to keep this going. But just know, I'm going to give y'all a cheat sheet. Obafemi should be on y'all list for this early or for this mid to present 2000 list. He should be. But I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the rest of y'all night back. I really appreciate everybody for engaging and tuning into the chat. It's been a pleasure to have y'all here tonight, to keep the engagement going, to keep the conversation going. I see we got a lot of wrestling fans here in the chat. We're going to start bringing in some more wrestling, right? And we're going to see what y'all really about when it comes to this wrestling stuff, right? Because, again, a lot of this stuff that we grew up on is different nowadays, and we want to bring that to the light as well. We're going to bring a lot of this big three stuff to the light. We're going to bring a lot of FIFA to the light as well, and we're going to keep it going. I might even try to throw in some NASCAR, because I'm not even a huge NASCAR fan, but I'm going to bring some NASCAR in it as well. And we're going to go from there. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning into the chat. Until next time, y'all have a great night, and let's go Dogs. I'm out.
Step in. Unfiltered. Yeah. Unfiltered sports show. Yeah. Step in, boots on floors, no soft top, no closed doors. We call it like we see it. Every hit, every flaw, every fumble, every job. We don't dress it up, we mean it. You want gloves, take a walk. We want truth when we talk, no fake smiles on the screen. If it stings, let it sting. If it's trash, say it's trash. That's
Fellas,
the code
ladies, looking
on
for
this
lotion,
team.
you looking for beer oil, but unfortunately everything you get from mainstream got chemicals in it and probably kill you. No problem, we got
no
you. Go
polish
check out
on
my
the
people from Talk the Bottom Hair and Skin Care.
Just the
That's Talk the
facts,
Bottom
just the
Hair and
heat.
Skin Care.
Unfiltered sports show.
www.talkthebottom.com.
No PR stunt, no pose.
Tell them I sent you.
Unfiltered sports show. Say it loud, let it go. We real about it, bro.